In the last session, I spoke with regard to some of the techniques that I use on approaching a song, the Sheila Davis boundaries, other boundaries that I use, but all of those are used for me anyway to save time later on. It keeps it a little bit strict and within the corral, so to speak. But there's other items that I use, let's call them hard items. The first one is, and forgive me, I've got a bunch of stuff on my lap here. It's a demonstration day. This is just my writing, my hand scratching. I tend to write down, and I use pencil. I use pencil to write each line, each change, blah, 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 all the way through the song. And I find that that's the way that I can write the best. I'm not a computer writer. I do use a computer, but not for that. So I've got my trusty diary. It allows me to freehand the conceptual interactions for the story and the core message. Here's the one I used for a song that I did called Moving On. So as I glue the lyrics and music together, I later then type and print things out, but I might fiddle with the printed sheet with my guitar in hand. I'll also check out that the measures and words are working. Put that in the diary too. Scratch out changes on the typed pages. Then I'll rewrite in longhand in the diary, and the process repeats. There's a lot of handwriting in there, I know, but somehow it places me closest to the song if I have them written down by hand. Another piece of gear, let's say, that's used by probably every songwriter on earth is the guitar. I've got one behind me, the Gibson 12 string. There's a Dojo over here. Usually I write with guitars, but sometimes the other instrument might take over. If the mood or the spirit kind of moves me, I'll move over to another instrument if it's filling out the song better. Again, we're in the shaping phase. Another piece of kit, I know all the current words. Another thing that I use a lot is this. It's a little guy called a Zoom recorder, and what it does is it's a 4-track. It's like an old tape recorder. It's just a 4-track recorder where you can write things down and record things. So after I've used the diary and I've got the hen scratching or chicken scratching to a point where I can barely read it, I will type it out on the computer, and then I'll probably use this guy to maybe lay down a guitar and voice track. The other beauty of this, and I'll probably talk about this later on when we get past the songwriting, it has 4 tracks, so you can sort of do a trial and error for instrument A, instrument B, instrument C, and how it fits into the song as you go along. Very handy little guy. And finally, there's 2 other items that I lean on a lot during the songwriting process. One is Google, thesaurus specifically. I'm looking for words that rhyme and also synonyms. And if I can't find something in there and it's a dead end, sometimes it forces you to rewrite the line or change the context. Very, very handy tool. And lyrical bridges. Why would you use a bridge in a song? For me, it's a wild card. It's a free agent. You can pretty much use it to do whatever you want within the song. The song Time that's on the Ryan Tunes website, I had to connect 2 totally disparate, totally almost dysfunctional pieces within the verses to a song. The subject matter was very difficult to connect lyrically, but a bridge did the job for me. Other musicians probably have their own reasons for using a bridge, but that's how I use it. Basically, it's within a song, if the verses are going along and then there's 2 kind of pieces, 2 chunks that aren't fitting right, and you need to write 18 verses, I'll try to put a probably look for a bridge. The other thing about the bridge that's kind of neat is that it doesn't have to match with, it actually shouldn't match with the chorus or the verses in terms of the music. It has its own, it's like an asteroid. It's got its own little orbit going on. And it's a really, really handy tool to use. That's it for this session. See you next time.